friends, welcome to another episode of Women in Sports Unplugged. Our guest today is Anju Jain. Anju Jain is a former Indian cricketer. She played women's test cricket between 1995 and 2003 and ODI cricket between 1993 and 2005 for India. She was the team's wicketkeeper. She also captained the Indian team in 8 ODI matches, all during the 2000 Cricinfo Women's Cricket World Cup, where India advanced to the semi-finals before losing to New Zealand. Anju is the first Indian woman cricketer to complete 1,000 runs in ODIs. She's also the first Indian woman cricketer to represent the country in 4 ODI World Cups in 93, 97, 2000 and 2005 when India was the runners-up. She got appointed as the chief coach of the Indian women's cricket team 2011 to 2013. She was also the head coach of the Bangladesh women's cricket team till March of this year. She's currently the head coach of Baroda senior women's team. Anju also got awarded the Arjuna Award in 2005 for all her sporting achievements in the field of cricket. Welcome to the show, Anju. Thank you so much for coming. It's such a privilege for me to have you on the show and to interview you today.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'll begin by asking you, what does sport mean to you, Anju?
It means just pure passion for me. Sports, when it comes to sport, it's cricket and it's sheer pure passion to me. Because I think most of everybody knows, like when we started playing, there was not much of money, not much of recognition, nothing was there. It was just the love and the passion for this game.
So it's amazing that, your passion, you could make, you made a career out of your passion. It's just incredible. But tell me, Anju, how did you get initiated into this? Like you were saying, there wasn't that much money, there wasn't that much recognition. So how did you get initiated into this?
I think the credit goes to my dad. He himself was a cricketer. He has played he played till Ranji Trophy. So in my younger days, I used to go and watch his games. In my summer vacations and all, I used to go with him to watch his games and all. So I think that love developed for cricket during that time only. But when I was just growing up, like so many others, I've also played a lot of gully cricket.
Yes.
So I also used to play along with my cousins and all. Then one of my cousins, she's from Punjab. She was playing for Punjab before me. That my cousin Shella. So she saw me one day playing. And then she told dad, why don't you take her to the stadium or somewhere where she can get some training and can give trials for Delhi State. So I think from there, that's all started. Then immediately dad took me to the National Stadium in Delhi. And I started under Sunita Sharma ma'am, professional coaching. It started from there for me.
Yeah. No, you talked about your father and you talked about a coach. And I was actually going to ask you a question that whoever I speak with, especially professional sports players, they all talked about how the support of the parents and meeting a coach at the right time can really change the direction you take. So do you think that meeting your coach made a big difference in terms of the direction that your career took?
It did, actually. I think it began from for me, it started from home only. My dad was my first coach, and I just want to say, whatever I've achieved in my life, it's all because of him. I think the credit goes to him because it's in encouragement, his hard work there, from where it started. Because my coaching was never ending. Because once I used to come back from my practice sessions, dad used to take practice at home for me. So he was my first coach, basically. And then, yes, when I joined the National Stadium under Sunita Sharma ma'am, she totally transformed me because then you get to know the intricacies, how to play professionally or at a competitive level.
Yes.
So that all changed. And along the lines, we've got to play under so many coaches. They helped, at each and every level along the way in this entire journey.
Yes. Oh, and your father must be so proud of you. You went on to win an Arjuna Award as well, Anju. So what an amazing achievement. Tell me, a parent, coach, yes. How supportive was your school? Because, growing up, I remember in my time, sports was not given that much importance. It was study, study,
Mhm.
study. So how, and cricket needs a lot of time when you're training, etc. So how
Mhm.
was your school supportive, or how important do you think is the role a school plays to support?
Oh, I think I'm the one of the fortunate ones, you can say, because got the full support from the family, and same kind of support I've got from my school and my college. They totally supported me whenever like there was the camps and all the where the attendance thing is concerned. Yes, they totally supported me. But for the exams, they made sure. And as my parents also put just one condition, like he said, like you can follow your passion, absolutely fine with them, but you should not supposed to just fail in your exams. The moment you fail, that year you won't be able to play. And I think the same conditions, I think my school, my college teachers, and my parents had a discussion with. So they made sure that I give equal importance to my studies, and same amount of the kind of just the same passion I was showing towards the game. So their support was throughout. They really they used to arrange even extra classes for me sometimes because of the camps or the tournaments. I used to miss out my
Yes.
classes, and I was a science student till 12th.
Oh.
So yeah, so, yeah, I don't think without their support it would have been possible for me to play at the highest level.
Yes. No, I think the role a school plays is really important. And
Mm.
Sports Village, which is co-creating this show with us, is working with so many schools. They are India's largest youth sports platform, but they're trying to create this whole environment where more and more children get to learn and get to play. So I think the role of a school is so important. But tell me, Anju, when did you know that this is going to be your career, that you want to do this as a career, as a profession?
Oh, frank enough, Radha, means earlier I didn't know. It just happened. I started because I love this game. I wanted to play cricket. But when I started playing in the very first year I joined the stadium when I was talking about, I played for the under 16, under 19, senior, and even in for the North Zone, like the highest that time it used to be. So in the very first year of my career, when I was starting playing, I played all those levels, all the age groups.
Yes.
So yeah, I think somewhere I knew I can do well, but never thought of making a career because earlier not that many options were there during that time, and I was still studying. So I think one after the other, that just things kept on happening for me. So I started playing, then went for India, got in contract with Air India, and then got a job. So it just happened. But yes, again, a fortunate one who can who could convert her passion into profession.
Yes.
Until date I'm still involved. So yeah,
Yes.
very blessed, you can say that, in those
Yes, and
matters.
yes, and I will ask you about your coaching experience in a bit. But before that, I want to ask you any favorite match of yours. I mean, you've played so many matches. You've played for India. You've played Test cricket, One Day International. You were part of the 2000 World Cup women's team as well when we got into the semi-finals. So, any
Mhm.
favorite match memory of yours?
I think I can say two for now. I think the when I made debut in
Yes.
'93 for it was in the World Cup. In the very first game against West Indies, I got my highest score, 84 not out, and got the woman of the match. And that time I was the youngest in the team when I made debut. So that was special. And another, I think, in 2005, when we in the semi-finals against New Zealand, where
Yes.
we qualified for the first time ever for the finals in a World Cup. So India, like for first time, went to play a final in the World Cup. So I think yes, those two games are very close to heart.
I have to ask you this. How does it feel to represent the country? I'm just getting goosebumps asking that. But how does it feel to represent the country?
It's an amazing feeling. I think it's like always like for all each and every player, whenever somebody start playing any sport, the ultimate dream is to represent your country, to play
Yes.
for your country, and wearing those India colors and representing your country in a such a larger platform. Uh, so it's an unbelievable feeling.
No, I'm sure it is. And you such a privilege to wear the India colors and represent the country. Um, Uh, in women's cricket now in India is gaining popularity a lot more now than maybe when you started playing. But I think there's still a long way to go. So, what, in your view, are some of the challenges that are still there, and what more can we do to promote this further?
Since BCCI have taken over, the things have changed a lot. But as you said, yeah, there are a few things. I think the first and the foremost thing, the current players struggle are the job opportunities, which are like, I think apart from railways, there is no other institution or organization who gives jobs to women cricketers. I think that's one area where seriously needs to look into, because so many players lose out because of this, as they don't have any other job opportunities for them. And the second thing, I feel the way it has been marketed, I think it should be marketed in a more better way, that women's cricket. Still feel at times it's under men's shadow of the men's cricket. So we need to market it in better, so that women's cricket as an individual entity can generate that much of sponsorships and revenues itself in its own self, so that that those things, the more facilities and the funds can be given to the girls. So for me, I think, yeah, jobs and that marketing needs to be improved, looked into seriously.
And how do you think is the bench strength of the women's Indian cricket team? Are there enough youngsters coming up, and is there a good bench strength once the current players stop playing?
There are. Luckily now, for the last 2-3 years, they've changed the format. Earlier, it used to be only 4 matches per season the players used to get. But now they have made into elite and the played groups. So at least some 8, 9 number of games are there for the players in a format to play. So it gives a lot of opportunities to the girls. And but yeah, some other like things are like under 19 World Cup is also coming up for the girls.
Yes.
Unfortunately, because of this corona, it couldn't happen. So maybe next year it's going to happen.
Yes.
And a lot of A series are happening. So there are a lot of good youngsters, upcoming players are there. So, but yeah, they need to get good opportunities, and you can see these girls are like really good enough.
Yes, yes. So Anju, sports has given so much to you, and now you're giving back. And you have been a coach. You were also the coach of the Bangladesh team, and now you've been a coach in various capacities in India as well. So please tell us a little bit about that experience, and how is it that your vision is to transform and train the girls?
No, it also happened by chance. I do like. Once I took my retirement from playing, I became the selector for the Indian women's team. And during that stint, I realized that I'm not the person who can just sit on the sidelines and watch the game. I need to be involved in the action. I need to be on the field. And the best thing to do is just become a coach. So that's how I started doing all my courses and all. And that's, I think, the best way I thought I can contribute and can keep myself involved onto the field through coaching. So that's how it all started. And it's been a great learning experience. I've done with like a lot of other various teams we have worked with, different age groups of girls we have worked with. It's been tremendous, and still learning a lot. It's still going on, but it's been amazing.
Okay, that's good to hear, and we will continue to see some future stars emerging out of your coaching and training, I'm sure. What you yourself are accomplished sports person, but I have to ask you this: if you had to choose 3 sports women who you really admire, who would they be?
Mm-hmm. I think I've always been 3 things, qualities you can say that have been taught and very seriously looked into. For those reasons, those are the 3 personalities I'm going to take the name for those 3 qualities as well. I think first I'll take PT Usha's mom name, because when we were growing up, because of her simplicity, she'll be the golden girl, everything, but how simple she remained throughout. I think that stood out for me. And the second one will be Steffi Graf, for her grace, like in the kind of composure she used to maintain, on and off the field. You have seen like very calm and composed person. So that's another quality. The third one will the resilience of Mary Kom. think she's unbelievable. She was the world champion, took a break, and then made a comeback. Again, become the world champion. So those qualities, I think, you can say that really inspired me, and I really, follow those three sports personalities.
Yes, I think all three are amazing women. PT Usha, I mean, we've all grown up seeing her run. And Steffi Graf, oh, what a big fan I was of Steffi Graf. I mean, amazing, incredible.
Yes.
She, in the women's world of tennis, I would rank as the GOAT, I mean, she was really amazing. And like you said, her composed, never showed any emotion on the court. And Mary Kom, of course, and she's a mother. I mean, it's just her story is so inspirational to see.
Yes.
So, all three women, very motivational. Before I move on to the rapid fire round, I have to ask you this. What message would you give to young girls who are looking at sports, and more importantly, to their parents and their schools to encourage sports education and to encourage sports as a career?
I think for the girls, I'll just say, just follow your passion and give your best. It's nothing less than that. Whatever it can be any sport or something or anything in your life, whatever you want to do, just follow your passion throughout. And I think through the sports, the parents should realize it's not only about playing a sport in general. It's overall development, which comes like when you're playing, the player. It makes you more disciplined. It makes you more, you can say that, confident person, independent persons. And the most important skill, I think, which is in today's world, it's more important, is handling the pressure.
Yes.
That you get to learn while playing a sport, because on and off the field, there is going to be pressure. And that's one quality. I think the parents should realize that it's not only about playing a sport, it's all these qualities that a player develops while playing a sport. So it's not only about giving them it will definitely help them for the overall development for the girls. So give them an opportunity. It's not about growing physically, the mental strength. And in today's world, it's more important to have that confidence to face all the struggles in life.
Yes, I think such an important point. And they always say, if you want to see how a person reacts in a stressful situation or how a person's character is, you should see a person on a sports field, how they react, and then working as a team. So a lot of, and there's a lot of research going on how sports can impact your character, how sports education can also help people in a world beyond sports, when you're in a corporate world or in a professional environment, how sports helps you succeed. So all very, very, very good points you brought out, Anju. So now we have the rapid fire round section. So I will say 5 words and you have to tell me what comes into your mind when I say those words. Okay?
Okay.
So first, given with cricket, bowling or batting?
Batting. Making bowlers' life miserable. Nothing less than that. For sure.
Okay. Second, passion.
Cricket.
Yes.
It's going to be cricket for me.
Yes. And that's sort of billion people in this country. It's hard. So, yes. Okay. Third one, family.
It's everything. I know I've been sounding very cliche, but it's family. The kind of support system that comes with the family. It's nobody can compete with that. So yes. Families always come first.
Yes, how nice is that? Okay, the fourth word, food.
Homemade food. Anything cooked by mom. Frankly, because of so much of traveling involved and all, hardly we get a chance to eat home cooked food. So yes. I really love that home cooking. Anything cooked by mom.
That's so nice. Last one, hobby.
As a hobby, I think I love traveling. I love to travel, then reading and listening to music and all. So whenever we get time, So I love to go to see places, and I read a lot. And yeah, that's the hobbies I have.
Yes, all wonderful hobbies. Thank you so much, Anju. It was so much fun, and of course, listening to you is such an inspiration. I hope the viewers also find this talk as motivational, fun, and inspirational as I did. You can find this talk on YouTube channel #Zip2Fitness, on Instagram Zip2Fitness, and on podcast channels on Spotify, Apple iTunes, Zip Talks. Thank you so much.
Thank you.